Hi, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm Tod Pronto, filling in for Scott Wheeler with more hair. My guests today are from the local area, and they are putting on year 2 of the Hungerbowl. As you know, Hungerfest is a big fundraising drive that was started about 10 years ago with the local radio station. Has raised countless amounts of money and food for the food shelf, and it took a turn last year in a different direction, and these two gentlemen with me today are part of that effort, and we're going to be talking football as well. 'Tis the season, so thank you for joining us, guys. We've got Vaughn on my far left, which would be your far right. And do you want me to say your last name, Vaughn, or you just you're like Cher? You just go by Vaughn.
Whichever, it don't matter. Sure.
And Jason.
Yes.
Good. Thanks for joining us, guys. So let's do a little background. The Hungerfest was something that had been around for a while. It was started by the radio station, myself and Devaney. And what used to happen in the years gone by is we knew there was a general need for the food shelf to be stocked, especially around this time of year. We've got Thanksgiving coming, we've got Christmas coming, and of course we've got the winter weather coming, and that's makes it tough on everybody. And the whole point was, we didn't think families should have to choose between, heating their house or feeding their family. That's not an easy decision, and you need to do both. Things changed a little bit, and we went with a concert last year, and Vaughn kind of got on board and said, hey, well, what can we do? And you guys have a flag football club? I don't know what the right word is.
Flag football league.
A league, yeah. And so last year they organized a flag football tournament at Gardner Park, and how much money did we end up raising for that?
For that day, we raised $2,000 in cash.
$2,000.
$2,000 in cash, and raised over 650 pounds of food that day alone. As you know, we loaded the truck.
Yeah.
And then we had over $1,000 in prizes for raffle.
Amazing.
So.
And we're bringing it back this year. It'll be a little more organized this year. Last year it was kind of I don't know if I want to say last minute thing, but it was put together pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was a 4-week span where we put it together. Jason and I, we put a lot of hours into that.
You guys did.
To get that to go. So, but it was successful, even though we had a cold, bitter day that day.
It was cold.
It was very successful.
November 24th, yeah, it was
we had
negative 10 wind chill. It was crazy. 2 inches of snow, the first snowfall, and we had a flag football tournament.
But you can't play football in the summer, that's the thing. And it's going to be close to the holidays for, that's when the event takes place, So, but it's going to be a little different this year. It's going to be October 26th. And you're doing it in Lyndonville this year because the Northeast Kingdom, of course, is not just Newport, not just Derby. It encompasses. And the NECA Food Shelf also, NECA also has offices in St. Johnsbury and Newport area. So I guess let's go back with a little bit of history of how this all came to be. You started the league how many years ago?
No, this is our 3rd year running, right, Jason?
Yep, 2 years ago, Vaughn and I were just talking one day, and we decided that we've always been competitive. We're childhood friends, all the way back living in Newport years ago, and we just decided we want to get 2 teams together. I lived in Lyndonville, lives in Newport, so we were just like, let's get 2 teams together for flag football. We got the equipment and we met, and we played in Newport one game, and then they came down and they played in Lyndonville the next game. That was 2 years ago, and then last year we had more interest in it. A lot more people wanted to play. A lot more people wanted to enter teams. So we were like, let's do a league. So we started a league. Started with 4 teams last year. And then this year we graduated to 5 teams. So, nice. The league's growing, and it's fun. It's fun, competitive.
And it's not it's flag football, so there's no tackling.
No, there's no tackling, but there is physical contact. It's football. That's going to happen. Last year was our first year, so we kind of like, it was our experimental year where, you know, with rules and everything like that. So last year we didn't have linemen. This year we have designated linemen and a mandatory offensive and defensive line, 3 players on each. And so it's a more physical game this year, but we try to keep it to having fun, you know, competitive, but having fun where everybody has to go to work the next day and, you know, we're not out there to hurt anybody or anything like that. But it's still football. It is flag football where you don't tackle and you snag flags, you know, off of the player's hips, you know. But besides that, you know, it's regular football.
So if people come out to watch the games, they can expect to see
it's exciting,
game. Yeah.
You know. I mean, we've had some great games this year, you know, like we just had a game this past Sunday where, you know, a team scored in the last 10 seconds to win. You know, they tied it up with 2 minutes to go, and then the other team threw an interception with 40 seconds left, and then, you know, they were down to the half-yard line, and they scored with 10 seconds to win, so.
Do you guys play out in opposing teams?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You do? Ah,
Yes.
do we have some rivalries here?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a rivalry. You know, Vaughn's team and mine, which we start the league with, you know, is always, you know, a good matchup. Vaughn's team won last year. They won the league for the first year, and they beat us in a championship game.
So who won the Hungerbowl last year, though? Neither of you.
That was my team.
It was your team.
Yes, my team from Lindenville.
Oh.
Yeah, so
He paid us back for winning
Yep.
the championship.
So is there a trophy that you guys retain for the Hungerbowl?
Yep. Newport Daily Express sponsored a trophy last year for the Hungerbowl, and we won it. So it's in my possession. This year, my team has a full sponsor. So if we were to defend our title and win the trophy would be, you know, at my sponsor's location.
Okay.
But we still have to, you know, beat Vaughn's team and, you know, any other team that enters the tournament. But, you know, first and foremost, you know, we're doing it for the community and to have fun and, you know, to be competitive.
We're going to talk about how you can get involved and play in just a second. But before I do that, either of your teams, based on the performance with the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs, could either of your team have beaten the Patriots as bad as the Chiefs did?
I'm pretty sure we would have had a pretty good game against them.
And I'm sure if we both like joined teams, we could probably.
I think you could have. I think I probably could have been effective in that game, and I am not athletic whatsoever. Yeah. So is it too late if people are watching right now and they say, well, we'd like to put a team together for this, it's not too late to do so?
Absolutely not. They have actually until October 19th
Okay.
to register the team. They can contact Jason or I to register the team. It's a $100 entry fee, and each player brings in 2 canned or boxed items, non-perishable items for food that we donate to NECA at the time of the event. And they can reach out to us at our website or on our Facebook page. Should we give it to them now?
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll put it right down here at the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
So
The website is www.jasonmroyer, ROYER.wix.com/NEFFA.
Okay.
And NEFFA is short for New England Flag Football Association, which is our league.
And you have Facebook as well.
Yep.
New England Flag Football Association.
Yep, exactly. You look for it on Facebook, and it's right there. We have a lot of pictures of, we have action pictures of games, you know, every single week. Our website has up-to-date and current standings. Well, we have pictures from last year. We have pictures from this year, slideshow on our homepage. We also have a community events page that shows our Hungerbowl last year.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Any how late does your league go into the season?
Our league goes until the second week in November. Last year, we went to the third week in November, and we ran into a problem where a lot of players are hunters. And
Sure.
First week of hunting season, I believe, is like the 16th or 15th of November this year, close to that. So we wanted to try to finish everything beforehand. So the second week in November is our championship game.
So if people want to come out and see you guys before the Hungerbowl
Yeah.
and get an idea of what flag football is, they can.
Absolutely.
When do you play?
This Sunday, Vaughn has a game in Newport at 2 o'clock, Gardner Park. He's playing the other Lindenville team, the Lindenville Replacements.
Cool. Oh, what are the names of your teams? I didn't even ask.
Well, we're the Newport Dirty Turtles.
Dirty Turtles?
Dirty Turtles.
Okay.
And,
I remember that from last year.
Yeah, they have.
How does that name?
They have a whole group where they play multiple sports.
Yeah.
As the Dirty
It
Turtles.
was actually started by a younger generation. Taylor Curtis and John LaFoe and all those guys, the young guys. They actually came up with the name, and they play softball and softball, baseball, football, hockey, whatever. It's just a bunch of guys that get together and have a good time. It's really
the name
is.
of the name of
So,
the club.
Yep. Dirty Turtles means, the meaning of Dirty Turtles is not what it sounds like. It just means that we're going out there, we're having fun, we're getting dirty, trying to win the game,
Yeah.
So if we got a slide, get dirty, whatever works.
Hey, well that happens in football, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And what's the name of your team?
My team is the Boys and Girls Club of the Northeast Kingdom, a full sponsor out of Lindenville. And then we have the other Lindenville team is the Lindenville Replacements. We have a team out of the Brownington area, Brownington Bruisers. And we have another Newport team, Newport Orange Peels.
The Orange Peels.
The Orange Peels, yes.
That's an intimidating name.
Yes, it is.
Do you guys ever get worried that you might get attacked by a fruit fly when you play them?
no.
Or?
I'm worried about the spray that comes out.
I'm just kidding.
Citrus spray.
I can say that because I'm not going to be playing the flag football because I'm just not athletic. But I will be there. Myself, Devaney, we're going to be doing the announcements. And there's going to be, if you're interested in coming, again, it's October 26th at the Lindenville Town School. And there's going to be, it's a full day. There's going to be refreshments. Hopefully the weather's not going to be too crazy. But is this rain or shine, snow, sleet, hail?
Yes, it's rain or shine, just like last year. Last year, we really thought we wouldn't have half the teams come and play. But, it just showed you how much the community means to all these people that put in teaming, because every one of them showed up and played in that weather. So.
That's one thing I've learned in this community. People will get together for a good cause, and they really will rally together. And last year was a good testament to that because, like you were saying, it was freezing. I don't know if I remember the actual. Was it like 10 below? It felt like it.
The actual temperature that day was 17 degrees, but at a minus 23 degree wind chill factor.
Yeah, and there was.
We had, like Jason said earlier, 2 inches of snow.
Oh,
being
yeah.
Blowing around at the same time. You couldn't even. My brother went and set up 3 fields, and when we got there, you couldn't even see one of the fields.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the outlines at all. So we had to actually sweep them off and put cones up so we can see.
Yeah, we were going to film it last year so we could show some footage, but the cameras just aren't going to perform in that kind of weather. My cell phone died. Like I'd go in my car, I'd throw it on the dashboard, kick the defroster on, warm it up, then call Joe from NECA and make sure everything was good. Phone would freeze again. It was, but yeah, people came out and you said it raised like $2,000 and how much food? It was a lot of food. Too.
650 pounds of food that day alone.
Yeah.
And then of course we had numerous amount of people went over to NECA afterwards and donated. And I had people stop at my work, drop off turkey dinners for needy families, full turkey dinners.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's bringing awareness, and it's amazing when you do that. How much people will go out of their way. Now, if we go back, what made the Flag Football Association decide to get involved with the food shelf drive?
Well, it was like you said earlier. I attended your music fest that you had up at the Opera House in Derby Line, and I remember talking to a couple of individuals saying, this is a good cause, and I'd like to see more people being more involved. And a testimony to what you and Devaney did before, there was, it was what you guys did was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I said, well, now that the radio station's no longer involved, how can we make this a bigger event? So and then the following day, Jason and I started talking on the phone. We were just going back and forth. Said, wow, yeah, we can do something here. What can we do? So we said, why don't we use the football as a launch pad, kick off the season and try to help out, because we both know, we've lived in this area long enough, we know there's a huge need, and it's year to year. Some years you may not need it, and some years you do need it, so it's not just the same people every year that are in need. Some people have hard times, they lose their job at a certain time of the year, they can't feed their family. Like you said, either you heat your house, feed your family, which one do you do? So I've been in that position before growing up, so I understand that and I can relate to it. So, and Jason understands the same, so we just said, hey, let's put a flag football together and see what we can do and make it an annual thing.
And hopefully, by doing this is only the second year since the we'll call it the change, but hopefully it seems like it's already grown this year, and I think the more it's done, the more it's going to build. Like, just a brief history of when Hungerfest started. I started it. I can't remember the year, but Hungerfest last year would have been the 10th year if Devney and I had done it the traditional way. It started with 2 pickup trucks from NECA, volunteers. They volunteered their own trucks, a camper at RJ's Friendly Market, which is now Vista. This is before cell phones were that great in the area, not that they're amazing now. We had a phone line running from the camper up over the light pole into RJ's Friendly Market so we could broadcast live on the radio. We had a grill and some hot dogs, and it was freezing. The wind was whipping off the lake, and we were under 3 tons of food. It built every year, to the last year that we did it, we'd raised some $12,000, $13,000 and like 26 tons of food. And suddenly you had this, it became something that I don't want to say NECA depended upon, because it was something that the radio station, or more importantly, Devney and I, did. And then that just disappeared. And Joe from NECA was like, what are we going to do? This is a big time of year for us, and the food shelf, they need that support. And so we did our best last year, and we did really well, I feel like. But we're kind of having to reinvent the wheel. So it's great that you guys have come along, and if there are any other clubs out there that want to do something, it can be a year-long thing. We tend to focus it always this time of year because of Thanksgiving, because of winter, because of the holidays. But really, it's a year-long thing. We were at NECA this week, meeting upstairs. Did you see the food shelf when we left?
Yeah. You see the people walking out with bags of food right now.
Yeah, and right now. And what was sad to me, there were, I don't know, cans of corn, green beans, noodles.
Yep.
That was it. I mean, there were a few other things here and there. They do have a freezer and a refrigerator that's not part of where you can actually see the food shelf, but imagine trying to put a meal together for a family of 4 with like green beans and noodles.
Yep.
And that's a very real thing. And a lot of people, like you said, you lose your job, or your wife loses her job, or there's a sickness in the family. A lot of people use the food shelf to help them get back on their feet, whatever it be, and it needs to be filled. So hopefully, the more and more community members that get involved, the bigger it'll grow. So I think it's a good cause. Well, I know it's a good cause.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, last year was my first year being included in it, and I felt really good after. Just knowing that this one day, 8 hours that we were out there, we raised over $2,000 in cash, and 650 pounds of food. And, it felt really good because, that's not something that I had been included in, in the past, and, I'm glad that I'm going to be included in it in the future. And, it feels really good.
It does. That's a big thing. I've always been involved with a lot of different community events, and sometimes I get to the point where I run so ragged because it's just like, I'm so tired of, why am I doing this? But when it comes down to it, And when it actually happens and you can see what you've accomplished and you know that you've helped other people, I don't think there's a better feeling than that.
No, there isn't. And people don't understand the magnitude of what just happened until they actually been there and experienced, like Jason said.
Yeah.
Unless you're there and you participated and you're there at the actual event, seeing it on TV or seeing it in the paper, a little different.
Yeah.
But when you're there and you actually see, and then you see some of the families that you've helped and the people that come up to you after the event, weeks after the event, and say thank you for your help. I mean, that's powerful.
It is.
I mean, I don't care who you are, it does melt your heart.
I mean, even if you come and you're a spectator and you watch, you watch the Hungerbowl and you buy a hot chocolate and a hot dog for lunch, you're still helping.
You helped, yeah.
It's definitely still helping. So, anybody that comes and even watches and should definitely feel good about helping their community.
And Todd, people should know too, it's not just about football. I mean, football is what's bringing people there.
Right.
But we're going to have other things there for children. We're going to have entertainment, music-wise.
Yep.
Yourself and Devaney will be there. And, it's just going to be a fun day. Every year we like to add to it, bring more events, more activities to the event. So, so even if you're a non-football or even a non-sports fan, you can still participate in some way. You can go and volunteer your time, help with the food shelf, with the donations, or you can help in the snack shack, whatever we may call it. There's going to be other vendors there. Jason's got a couple vendors coming over. They're going to maybe sell pizzas, grinders, whatever it may be. All those they're going to put some proceeds towards donating to NECA Food Shelf. So I mean, every little thing that people go there for and they participate, it's going to help NECA one way or the other.
You'll probably need like runners too. I'm assuming somebody that you can come up to and say, hey, can you run over and find Jason? We need, I don't know.
Yeah, we usually yell
Something
around. We're like, Vaughn, where's Vaughn? Hey, Vaughn, hey! The old-fashioned way,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but we could get some people if they want to volunteer. And they
I know NECA will be there. A lot of NECA employees will be there volunteering their time. I have, some friends and some coworkers that I've asked that, will be volunteering their time. We have, older players that who used to play like last year that doesn't play this year that's going to come and ref the games because we need refs. We need a lot of volunteers, for this, and it's they should get a pat on the back because it's very important and they're part of a very important team.
I think I know what I want to do. Can I just throw penalty flags for no reason?
Sure.
It'll be just like the NFL.
Yeah. Just get a napkin. And put some rocks like right here. Just fold it up and zip tie it.
Yeah.
There's your. You have a flag. You can just throw the flag. Yep. Just don't throw it near anybody because if it rocks.
You and Devaney do some random penalties.
I think we should just like
excessive eating on this guy over here.
Yeah.
Which would be Vaughn sitting there.
Yeah, probably most likely be me. Yeah.
When he's supposed to be playing.
Blow the whistle. That guy was picking his nose. I saw it. No, I think it'll be fun.
But like with entertainment, I just talked to someone, a local musician, Jay Natola, who plays rock, plays acoustic guitar and electric guitar. He's going to donate his time to come over, and he's going to entertain the spectators and players. So.
That's great. Yeah. So there's going to be music. There's going to be food. There's going to be football.
There's also going to be raffles. We're going to have 2 different raffles. Actually 3. We're going to do one where local businesses are donating gift cards or other products. We're also that'll be one raffle, and then we're going to do a 50-50 raffle. 50% goes to NECA, and then the other 50% goes to the winner that wins that raffle. And then Jason's was kind enough to do another raffle for us. He's going to donate 4 hours?
Yeah, I'm going to donate 4 hours. I have a DJing business. I'm going to donate 4 hours to be used in 2015. And if I'm not exactly sure how much the tickets are going to be. I think we talked maybe like $20 or something like that. But if they bought a ticket, there'll be one picked winner, and that winner will receive 4 hours of DJing in 2015. I mean, that's if I did a wedding, in 2015 for 4 hours, that's $600. So I mean, $20 compared to $600,
Sure.
it's I think I would take that chance, and not only like wedding, but if they just had a birthday party or just wanted to entertain a cookout.
Family reunion,
So
yeah.
and the thing is that that's 4 hours out of my time, at 365 days, that I can, put out there, to help the community and raise money. So anything that I can do, that I definitely will.
And I think it's important to bring that up to other business owners such as yourself. I mean, the food here is donated.
Yep.
The time is donated. I mean, this essentially all is donated. Like, is there any overall cost that's going into this? There must be a little bit.
Last year, it cost us a total of $50 to do what we did.
So you had a...
So we had to buy popcorn, seeds, and oil.
Yeah.
And we had to buy creamer and sugar and stuff for coffee. That's where that expense was.
Yep.
Everything else was donated. Like this year, we got all the meat's being donated by Poland Grain. So they're donating all the meat for the festivities.
Yeah, mention all the people that have donated. I think it's important for people to know
Yep.
who's contributed to this effort. And I know you've got a list because
I do.
Yvonne was
Yep.
sending out emails like every 14 seconds he'd be like, oh, and this person did this. Bang. Oh, and this person did this.
Yeah.
I shut off my iPhone a couple times. I was like, this is too much work, Vaughn.
So we do. We have quite a few actually. Like I said, Poland Grain's going to donate all the food, all the meat, actually hot dogs, hamburgers, possibly some chicken. I got Bobby Bouchard. He's an independent operator. He's donating chips.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thompson Redemption is going to donate the soda and water that we're going to use for the day. We also have Freihofer, which is located in Jason's area in St. Johnsbury. That they're going to donate the hot dog and hamburger rolls for us. NECA has someone's going to be donating Green Mountain Coffee, so it's going to be Green Mountain Coffee, hot chocolates, and that stuff.
Perfect.
I can go on and on, but those are the main contributors as far as food goes, and then we have many contributors donating cash, donating gift cards. We go on and on and on. And just like real quickly, Village Pizza, Hoagies, Price Choppers donating as well. House of Pizza in Lindenville.
House of Pizza in Lindenville.
Columbia Forest Products.
Stepping Stone Spa in Lindenville donated an hour massage. So I mean, we have a bunch of other vendors that are kind of on the fence and haven't worked out the finalization. We still have 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
there's just a whole bunch of businesses that definitely need to be mentioned.
Yeah, and I think that also goes to show, like what you were saying earlier, if you feel like you're not helping out, but you go and you buy a coffee and a hot dog, 100% is literally going to the food shelf.
Literally,
because
nobody
that was all donated.
Literally, nobody makes money. I mean, Vaughn and I, we put a lot of time into our league, and we put a lot of time into Hungerbowl, and we're just doing it to give back to our community. It's just something. Very easy for us to do. Although we take time out of our, daily lives, our work and our family lives and stuff like that, it's, we don't make any money at all, NECA doesn't make any money, it's basically just for our 100% community.
To help, yeah, that's amazing. We're getting close on time, so I wanted to ask one question, then I'll make sure that I didn't miss anything. Is the idea, because we're doing this for the food shelf in Newport and St. Johnsbury, or in the entire, I think that's one of the misconceptions, that this is just going to the food shelf in Newport. It's not. It's all of Orleans County. It's Essex County. It's Caledonia County. It's the Northeast Kingdom. So is this tournament going to be? It was in Newport the first year, Lindenville this year. Are we going to alternate back and forth?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes, we are. In fact, the last year, everything that was contributed last year was 50-50. Went to both areas, and NECA's it's the same in both in St. Johnsbury and in Newport. They're the same people essentially. They work out of the same. Matter of fact, we had the meeting. You saw the representative from both.
Yep.
And it's going to help all areas. So if anybody has any questions about that, everything helps the whole Northeast Kingdom. It's not Newport or Lindenville. It's not Newport versus Lindenville. It's never a competition. It's us working together.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want people to understand is that Jason and I both live on different towns.
Yep.
But we came together as you guys with Devaney, Todd and Devaney show.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It's the same thing. We're working together, trying to get the community to bring more awareness and make a more powerful statement each year. We want to get bigger and bigger.
Yep.
So if anything, I want Jason bragging this year saying, Linneville kicked your butts last year.
Yeah. I was going to say, the only competition is on the field. And other than that, it's all for one
He's
good
got the
cause.
trophy. He gets bragging rights this year.
I think you should try go for it, Vaughn. I'll throw some penalties against him if you want.
Please do. See?
I'll get some ideas. Wearing his sunglasses on top of his head, penalty.
There you go.
Done. Just
15
like
yards.
that. 15 yards. 80 yards.
Penalties happen.
Is there anything I'm missing before we wrap up? I just want to make sure we've got everything in there. It's October 26th, Linneville Town School. There's still time to get a team together. How many people do you need on a team?
At least 8.
Okay.
You can have as many as you want. Last year, my team had 18, and it was good in the cold weather.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
yeah,
it might be windy, and it might be a little chilly, so you might want to bring more than 8. And although you're only playing 7-minute quarters, you're still playing at least 2 games because it's double elimination tournament.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to bring other people so you can, shuffle them in and give players a rest.
And I'd like to add to that is that it could be strictly all guys, all girls, co-ed. It could be children, under basically 13 and up, because you don't want them too small. And your office can put a team together, or the fire department, anybody. We challenge anybody to come out and put a team together for the cause. Come out and have a good time, have some fun with us, and hopefully maybe you can help us take the trophy away from Jason's team.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I think it's great. We'll post all the numbers for contact information here in the credits and everything. One question I had when I watched it last year: you can't sack the quarterback. Are you allowed to rush the quarterback at all? What do you do?
You can sack the quarterback.
You just have to
it's
pull
just
the flag.
you pull the flag.
Okay.
If you snag their flag before they get rid of the ball,
Then
that's a sack as long as they're behind the line of scrimmage.
And I'll tell you, it's harder than tackling.
Well, I was wondering because how do you block somebody from getting to your quarterback?
Well, I mean,
You can't pull their flag if they don't have the ball, right?
Nope. It's basically that's the physical contact of football.
Just okay.
We try to have open hands. No pushing with elbows and like that, because we're not out to hurt to hurt anybody. If they're coming at you, you try to extend your arms and and just basically your alignment. You're blocking them and you're trying as hard as you can for them not to get to your quarterback. And the defensive and offensive line has put such a twist on our game that we had last year, because now teams they're trying to get the biggest line, they're trying to get the fastest line, they're trying to get the most competitive line, so that we can get to their quarterback as fast as we can. And it's all part of the we're getting closer and closer to the real game of football.
Are all scoring plays reviewed in New York?
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
okay.
Yeah. But I just
Do you kick field goals or do you go for the extra point?
No, we don't kick field goals because
You don't have
not
a field
every
goals
team,
post.
not every team, their home field has a field goal post.
Well, we could have Devaney just go down to the end of the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have Todd make the attempt to kick the field goal.
That'd be perfect. I would
Yeah.
love that.
But I might like to add
6 points if I hit her in the head.
I'd like to add before we leave, Todd, just even if your business can't field a team or put a team together, there's nothing wrong with sponsoring a team. Like last year, I had 2 sponsors. It was Dave Curtis Carpentry and Tim Hinman Painting.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I got 3. I got both those 2 I just mentioned, along with H&R Blocks to sponsor our team. Jason's got a huge sponsor as well.
Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Kingdom, we both have, but we still have 3 of our teams. We still have 5 teams, or 6 teams that need sponsors. So, if a business, like you said, can't put in a team, they're still looking for sponsors, and their business name gets mentioned, whenever, whenever we're talking with interviews and, on paper too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and $100 for a good cause, it's great. It's going to help. It's going to help the community. It's going to get your name out there a little bit, and you know what? You're gonna bring a lot of fun to the table. Just even if you can't get there, just sponsor a team, enjoy it, have some fun with it.
And that $100, I don't remember the exact numbers because it's been a couple of years, but NECA, being a nonprofit, can buy from the Vermont Food Bank, and I don't want to say an actual number because it could have changed, but that $100 can buy a lot more food than if you or I go to the store with $100.
Right. Absolutely.
They get it on wholesale prices. So you sponsoring a team, that whole $100 is going right to the food shelf, and it buys a lot of food.
Yeah.
So
Well,
And
Every little bit counts.
I do remember after the event, you and I were loading up the truck there, and we took a minute to take some pictures there with turkeys and things of that nature. When we got back to NECA, you want to see the tears coming out people's faces.
Yeah.
When we unloaded that truck, they just couldn't believe just that one day what you can accomplish. Imagine what we can do every year, how much more powerful they can get.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Not just the tears, but knowing, like Jason said earlier, the impact you're having on people's lives, Thanksgiving and Christmas. They may not have gifts under the tree, but they do have a warm meal to eat now, you know? So that at least brightens up somebody's holiday, you know? At least they have a nice meal to eat and know that somebody out there cares, and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
And last year, I know my team won the trophy, won the tournament, but Vaughn's team raised the most food. So my challenge out there is to take that title away from him, and hopefully my team can do that. And any teams that are in the Hungerbowl and enter the Hungerbowl, we challenge you also to beat our teams with the most food donated and money donated. You know, you can donate more than just $100, and you know that's you know
It's amazing.
So they will have a tent set up. NECA will have a tent set up for donations of any kind. It could be food, or it could be cash donations. So if somebody's in the area and they want to drop off something real quick, they can.
Yeah.
And NECA actually has their website going up here shortly, and Facebook, and they're going to have an option on there to donate by PayPal. So if people are interested in doing that, they can do that as well. If they don't have time to leave the home, they can simply do it at the convenience of their home. So
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for what you're doing, and thank you for coming on the show. And we'll see you October 26th.
sounds good.
And we'll see who retains the trophy and who brings the most food.
don't forget the penalty flags.
Oh, I got him.
Bright colors, bright colors.
Thank you much, and
Thanks.
thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.